General Santos City in the Philippines to the United States. Yesterday, he spoke to us about the difficulty of his genesis as a Filipino-American. He says he was an awkward kid.
He was one of those kids that just had to be picked on. You know, my ears were huge as anything. You know, my tooth was as big as a beaver. You know, it was everything that anyone and anything. So I was kind of like the fat kid in the playground.
The fat kid?
Is what we call it.
In the sense that you were picked on.
Target.
Yeah.
You were the target.
I was the target, and I was never picked because I was scrawny.
You were never picked for games? Or?
Never picked for games. But mostly I was mainly the target. You know,
people bullied around a lot?
I was bullied around. I would go home crying every time. I would go home and then say, you know, why am I living?
He's living so we can choose him for our boxing team. 59 out of 179 in the first 4 rounds. 29 out of 119 for Vazquez in power connects so far. And we spoke to you before the fight about Donaire's move to more power punching. He's landed 43 power punches in the fight, Emmanuel, to so far only 5 for Vazquez, who hasn't really tried many.
I am very, very impressed by his performance tonight. He's fighting a perfect fight with a fighter of Vazquez's ability, because Vazquez has a good defense, he's very patient, but he's still systematically breaking him down with punches the best that he could, because, you know, Vazquez won't throw too many punches. Even there, he found a little left uppercut in between that little movement right there.
The consensus top 5 pound for pound: Mayweather, Pacquiao, middleweight champions Sergio Martinez, Juan Manuel Marquez, whom you know well, and Donaire. Some ranking services rank Donaire ahead of Marquez in the number 4 spot.
Well, I have him right up there, very close. I mean, he hasn't had the big fights out of big names, but when we're just talking about Marquez is, Martinez is.
Yes, Martinez's style.
M's get me a little confused, but talking about his style. But the difference is, even Martinez, good as he doesn't score that kind of knockout. The way to this man, outside of the Paul Williams fight, he's not that devastating a puncher. This guy is tremendous as a puncher and a showmanship type fighter.
Hard right hand by Vazquez, his best punch of the fight so far. Right hand onto the cheekbone of Nonito Donaire. And Vazquez lands his jab again. He's loosening up just a little bit.
Yeah, he's wanting Vazquez to come in. You know what he's doing? He's enjoying that. He wants him to come in and give him more opportunities to counterpunch.
When he parries with that right hand like that.
I like that. It reminds me of the old-time fighters where they use a shoulder and the right hand to parry and roll punches.
Floyd Mayweather Sr. still teaches it.
Yeah. Beautiful. See there, he's rolling shots with his left shoulder and rolling the right hands and picking off the left hand punches.
Meanwhile, Vazquez is having his best stretch here.
Yes, he is, Larry.
Yeah, we mentioned that he's getting a little bit looser and more fluid on offense, more willing to throw. CompuBox running total at the bottom of the screen shows you that the difference is not nearly as large in terms of landed punches in this round as has been the case in the 4 previous rounds. Last we looked, it was 14-11. And it's a little bit more even fight now as we exit the 5th.
Want some water? A little bit, Ben. So good.
Dame la toalla.
Chao.
Dame la toalla.
Come on, papito, you gotta pull those punches out. Only one hand to my face, please. Are you good? Yeah. Is there any problems with your eyes? No, I can see.
Agua.
Okay, don't try. And now let's switch that uppercut to a hook.
Both fighters in this fight seem to make weight fairly easily, 122 pounds. When we get to the main event, one of the 2 fighters in that bout struggled mightily to make weight, and it could affect tonight's tilt. We'll talk more about that when we get ready for Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. against Marco Antonio Rubio. Right now we're in round 6. Nonito Donaire in the burgundy-colored silk trunks, gleaming in the light here, and the bright red, Wilfredo Vazquez Jr. Donaire more or less thoroughly in control of the first 5 rounds, though the best round so far for Vazquez was the 5th. Another slight change in technique for Donaire.
And it's another good round for Vazquez as well. If he wins this year, the way it's going, he's going to have 2 rounds at least. He's won consecutively. He's picked up his pace at the risk of being hit, but so far he's gotten away with his shots.
So you would have given him the 5th?
I would have given him the 5th. I thought it was, some of those rounds would be like comparison rounds, but I would have given him the last round.
No question, Vazquez is becoming more comfortable in the fight, pressing forward offensively now, throwing many more punches than was the case in the earlier rounds. Donaire switches southpaw.
I think this switch to southpaw reflects a certain kind of uncertainty about Donaire on how to attack Vazquez. Bloody nose for Vazquez, by the way.
Just a touch of blood on the tip of his nose. Just missing with a big counter right there. Nonito Donaire. Vazquez much more energetic with his jab now. Letting it go. And he's landed 7 more punches in this round than has Donaire. By CompuBox count. So the fight's becoming more interesting.
I think Vazquez is winning this round also. But I feel that Donaire is kind of like pulling him into throwing more punches so he can catch it going down the stretch. That's just my feeling.